So welcome to another Tokyo Revengers video guys. And yeah, as you guys know by now, the full chapter is already out. We have discussed some leaked pages in the previous videos. But this time, we're going to discuss the entire chapter. Although this is an unofficial translation. However, there are so many crazy things that took place in a single chapter. Which you guys already know, and honestly, I felt the last two chapters seemed to be very rushed. Which worries me more on how this series will end. Even though Mikey's Dark Impulse and Takamichi Future Vision fight didn't go really well. You know, the way we all actually wanted. It was quite bad news for us. This fight literally showed us who Takamichi is. And why he is the main character of the series. He'll do anything for his friends. His zeal and determination are something we should take lesson from. Anyway, before we talk about that, as usual guys, I would kindly appreciate it if you can drop a like on the video and consider subscribing to the channel. Let's go into the video now. So in the previous chapter, Mikey talked about his true feelings that he has been hiding and burying it within himself for so long. We know that he had no other choice but to abandon his friends for their own good. We got to see Mikey's dark impulse since the beginning. Even though we didn't know what exactly that was. For example, in the Valhalla arc in the anime, the dark impulse was so well portrayed. We could see there is a fire burning in Mikey's eyes, and gradually the white flame's intensity increased. Also in the Black Dragon arc, Mikey talks about how sometimes he doesn't understand what's happening with him, and he goes completely blank during those times. Even though this dark impulse was foreshadowed since the start of the story. But finally, in the final arc, we got to know more about his dark side. At first so many people thought Mikey can't control his emotions because of his past trauma. We saw in Mikey's backstory how much he went through and kept on suffering day after day. He died in the original timeline and after overcoming so many obstacles when Shinichiro saved him. Then Shinichiro's curse starts to hunt Mikey down cruelly. In fact, even his friends are affected by that curse. Mikey didn't know the solution to end the darkness and left all hope. But then his fate changed when he met Takamichi. As now, Takamichi stands strong in front of him, promising to finish all of the dark impulse from Mikey. I don't need say, as we all know how strong Mikey is. Especially when his dark impulse mode is activated. Now look at this picture. In this, Mikey says, "I'm already worried, stop." This page is very interesting. Because it looks like Mikey is talking to his dark impulse. Which is, as we call it, the manifestation of the old man's curse. He is trying to connect with his dark side and is asking it to stop. Mikey doesn't want his curse to control him, and we know that's the main problem. If could have controlled it, there wouldn't be any problem at all. And the entire story would have been completely different than what it's now. To be honest, it's kind of weird because when Shinichiro was cursed by the old man said, "Just like me, you chose to kill." Before he died. Which means this old man was also cursed since he too killed the Time Leaper and got his powers. So he must be cursed the same way Shinichiro was. I know, we didn't get much information about that old man. But everything about him is just so mysterious. I will talk about him in a separate video, as you guys have so many theories regarding who that old man could be. Now coming back to the chapter, after Mikey is engulfed by his own darkness, he says, "Trust the dark impulse." His whole personality literally changed, as he's not the same Mikey anymore. He is the unbeatable beast now, who will kill anyone without any hesitation or thinking twice before hitting his friends even. He loses his conscience and morals. Like I said before, Mikey too doesn't like it whenever that curse controls him. But he can't help it. And once he loses his own self, he starts to destroy everything. And the destruction is on another level. In chapter 274, we saw that Sanzu's katana was lying on the rail tracks. And this sword literally ruined the ending, as we know what happened. When Takamichi told Mikey, "I am the only one who can crush your dark impulse." Sanzu cried after hearing that Takamichi too wants to save Mikey. He was relieved. We even thought Sanzu would give Takamichi a hand in the final fight against Mikey's dark impulse and Takamichi. But after Mikey lost control over himself because of the curse, he suddenly took the sword and started to attack Takamichi. Which was really unexpected for me until I saw the leaks. I couldn't even believe he managed to cut Takamichi's cheeks first. And as Mikey is super fast. And he didn't even give Takamichi the time to predict the future. Takamichi needs some time to see what'll happen in the future with the help of his vision. But since Mikey already knows about his ability, he didn't give him the chance to see the future. So, Takamichi had no choice but to attack him back. When he tried to punch Mikey, Mikey literally slashed his whole hand and his uniform was also torn into pieces. And we talked about this page in my previous video. Mikey says Shinichiro, Emma, Draken, and Baji died because of this curse. He is very well aware of what happened to his friends and family, even in his dark impulse mode. They all died because of this curse. The reason being, everyone wanted to save him. And in the end, his well-wishers suffered for wanting anything good for Mikey. It's like completely two different personalities residing in one body. One of them is destructive in nature, destroying everything. And the other one is the victim, the one suffering inside him. It kinda makes me think that Mikey has a dual personality disorder. However, Mikey continues to attack Takamichi with the sword. Takamichi didn't even have enough time to dodge it and is enduring it even though he's at his limits now. I'm amazed how he is still able to stand on his legs withstanding so much damage. One thing I liked in this panel was how Sanzu is worried about Takamichi. This is the first time we see Sanzu, who is always portrayed as an anti-hero character, now is concerned about our main character. Sanzu always stayed Mikey's side since a very young age. So he knows about Mikey's dark impulse very well. Even Sanzu is so scared about this fight. Because he could see that Takamichi is slowly dying. He even tried to explain Takamichi about the dangerous curse of Mikey. But this translation is so poorly sourced. There are so many things that they didn't explain properly. However, since we already know about Takamichi's determination and his strong will, he didn't even try to listen to what Sanzu is saying. Even though he is heavily injured, Takamichi goes to face Mikey with bare hands. Such a brave move. This is where Mikey slashed Takamichi through his chest. It's so startling and totally uncalled for. Even though we saw this in the leaks already. But still, I can't believe it happened. Everyone was literally shocked by this. What's so impressive is, even though Mikey slashed Takamichi, Takamichi didn't care about this betrayal and instead he hugged Mikey. This is what it means to be a friend. When this scene will be animated, I'm sure it'll bring tears to our eyes. He tells Mikey, "I'll not be defeated." This proves how strong Takamichi's willpower is. Takamichi will go to any extent to save the person who is important to him. We all deserve a friend like Takamichi and be a friend like him for others too. Takamichi continues saying that everything is alright and tells Mikey to remember that he is Takamichi's friend. Right when Takamichi tells Mikey that he is his friend, Mikey stops. His eyes widened and he's in disbelief. He was like, did the guy I just now almost killed just called me his friend? Then, we see all the dark impulse leaving his body. Mikey's eyes, which was full with the white burning flames as he was in his dark impulse mode, were back to its original state again. The black eyes portray that this is the real side of Mikey. He repeats the word friend. Here, we see that the dark impulse born out of love could be driven away with love as well. Shinichiro tried saving Mikey because he loved him. And during the process, he committed a crime and thus got a curse. The curse is the reason behind his dark impulse. Now we just saw Takamichi end all of Mikey's dark impulse with love. Just like Mikey asked Takamichi to be a brother to him. Takamichi fulfilled the wish, and just as a dutiful brother, he traveled back to save his friend in need. And in this chapter, we see Takamichi sacrificed his life for Mikey's sake, and even when his death was near, he did not abandon Mikey. He still considered him as his friend. So here we see, Mikey just needed to hear this. All that he needed was some kind of reassurance and little bit love that he lost. After this, something interesting happened. Takamichi says, "Give me your hand, Mikey. After all, you are the trigger. It doesn't matter how many times, I will try again. I am going to save you." Mikey clearly didn't understand what Takamichi was saying. And he has a confused look on his face. But Takamichi keeps talking about how he wanted to save Mikey. He says, "No matter how many times, I have to go back to the past. I want to smile with you. And together with everyone." After this we see, Takamichi has fallen. He didn't say any other word after this. We don't know what exactly happened here. Maybe Takamichi went back in time already, as Mikey was holding his hands. So, we can't say anything for sure right now. But before he fell to the ground, he clearly talked about the time leap. Which means, it's possible that Takamichi is still alive. And I'm most certain that he is. But we have to wait till the next chapter is released or the leaks are out. I'm sure in the next chapter we'll see he is in the past already. But on the battlefield, all of them are so shocked. Chifu, Takamichi's confidant, breaks down in tears. Mikey screams, and he is holding Takamichi's still body. This seemed kinda rushed, but this was still an interesting chapter. I'm so curious to know what will happen next. I'm dying to know if Takamichi managed to time travel, or is he really dead, and even if he is in the past. Which timeline did Takamichi leap to and what his mission will be? If you guys have any theories, then please let me know below. So anyway, if you guys like this video, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. And good luck to all.